In doing my classes, I try to make it as personal as possible. I know a lot of people reject online classes because from their own past experience of just getting a bunch of text that they have to sort through. What I'm trying to do here is to bring you, as close as I can, a personal type of experience and learning. Now, the other part in doing this particular video is that most of my students at the present time, I would say probably all my students at the present time, are Spanish-speaking people. And I think that a shortcut to learning things is to give the equivalent of the English in Spanish. Another thing I want to say is that I use a lot of material from other areas, other teachers, other systems, and so forth. I pick what I think the best, and then I do that. And this is one in where there is Spanish. So this is a phrasal verb. So let's go through. I will try to make it a mix of Spanish and English for whoever comes to learn this from this video. Here we have the phrasal verb bring about, and you can see the Spanish for that here. And then the English sentence, the persistent rains brought about flooding in many areas. Well, persistent, I think, is easy to understand, okay? Brought about, as you can see in the Spanish here, you know, it gives you the equivalent of what that would be in Spanish. So brought about means it resulted in, okay? In other words, the persistent rains brought about or resulted in flooding in many areas. Here we have the word bring along. Now all these have bring as the common part, and you have the Spanish here, and then you have the English sentence. If you come to the party, bring your friends along. Okay? And here we have it in Spanish, and it translates very well into English. Let's say, without using the phrasal verb, you come to the party, please bring your friends to the party. Bring along means to more or less to bring along. It's not necessary to say along. You can say, hey, bring your friends to the party. Okay? But bring along would mean with you. As you come to the party, bring along or bring your friends with you to the party. Bring around. Okay? We have the equivalent of the Spanish here. And let's go down and see what they have. I tried to bring Sally around, but it'll be in vain. She's very stubborn. Well, bring around in this sense, you can see the word here is, I'll try to convince Sally. Okay? Really, the Spanish, when you go to the Spanish, you will find the equivalent almost of the English word which you use in place of the phrasal verb. But we have the phrasal verbs and we just have to learn them. Okay? Then we come down to another example. He was unconscious for 2 minutes until the paramedics brought him around. Well, brought him around would mean essentially till the paramedics helped him regain consciousness. Okay, to regain consciousness. And we can see the Spanish here, and you can translate that into English and have the equivalent of what that means. Here we have bring down, and you can see the Spanish for that. Stop eating junk food if you want to bring cholesterol down. Well, you can take a look at that. Bajar, okay, we're essentially saying you want to lower your cholesterol. Stop eating junk food if you want to lower your cholesterol. Bring down in this sense means more or less to lower. Okay, bring forth. We have the Spanish for that. Angela has just brought forth a beautiful girl. Well, here we have the Spanish for that. Angela has just given birth to a beautiful girl in this particular sentence. Okay. The president comment brought forth a lot of trouble. Well, in this sense, you can say it resulted. The president's comment resulted in a lot of trouble. Bring forward. Okay, we have the Spanish for that. The public prosecutor asked the witness to bring the evidence forward. And what she means to present the evidence, to bring forward the evidence, to present it. We can see there's many suggestions for Spanish for that. Okay. We have word, phrasal verb, bring in. And now that all the guests are here, you can bring the dinner in. Okay. In this instance, you can say you can present the dinner or have the dinner put on the table. Now that the guests are here, you can put the dinner on the table or whatever, or present it, okay? You will be given the check only if you bring in the bill for that work. Well, bring in means simply when you take it to the place, bring your bill in, take it to the place, present it to the people. You're going to present your bill for the work. Bring into. I would like to bring Tony into our meeting. I am worried about him. Well, again, you might say, I would like to present Tony to our meeting. You know, present could be very well used in this particular case. You can see the equivalent of here in Spanish, you know, so I would like to bring Tony into our meeting. I would like for Tony to join us is another way of saying that. Bring off, okay? The plan was perfect, but they didn't bring it off. Well, it didn't succeed. The plan was perfect, but they didn't succeed in its success. Okay, or the plan was perfect and they didn't succeed. I would say in this case. Here we have bring on, and you can see the various words that Spanish words can be used. Of course, the Spanish words can be translated into English, and they work. Stress can bring on many illnesses. You should keep it in mind. Okay, so it can bring on, it can result in, it can produce. You know, it can cause. The stress can cause many illnesses. So we use bring on as the word that we use in English in our phrasal verb, and you're most likely we hear the phrasal verb used rather than the dictionary word for that particular phrase. Bring out. Okay, I'll let my Spanish people just go over those. The company where Allison worked has just brought out the shoes for winter season. Okay, well, they have made public. The company where Allison works has just made public or presented to the public the shoes for the winter, So there are, marketing is another word you can use. It depends on the content of the sentence what word you would say. Like you say, the company where Allison works has just marketed the shoes for winter, for the winter season. Bring over to. Well, as you can see it, bring over to, she'll never be able to bring Peter over to agree with her. Bring over in this sense means to persuade. She'll never be able to persuade Peter to agree with her. Bring around.
Well, again, we have the Spanish here. The kids can always bring me around. I don't know why. Well, bring around is sort of like the same word. It means the kids can always convince me. Okay? So you can see that in the Spanish. Bring to. James came to the hospital unconscious, but the doctors brought him to. Brought him to means to regain consciousness. The doctors were able to bring him back to consciousness. Okay. Bring together. Mary's wedding brought Castle, Charles, and Amy together. It means they once again reconciled or reunited. Mary's wedding reunited Charles and Amy. Well, I think that's enough for this session. The important thing is give me your opinion on this presentation and let me know if this is more helpful. I personally myself do not like to have to read something. I would like to have it in a video form, and I'll probably do more of that.